Your birthday is tomorrow, and you don't care. While everyone around you is planning their birthday month like it's a national holiday, you're treating the day you were born like a random Tuesday. Your friends think you're strange. Your family thinks you're being difficult. But what if you're not weird at all? What if you're actually smart? Or what if your brain is quietly protecting you from something? Let's talk about it. Today, we're diving into the psychology of people who treat their birthday like just another trip around the sun. And trust me, this goes way deeper than you expect. We're talking about childhood experiences, control, culture, and a little bit of existential fear. Fun stuff. Here's the truth about birthdays. They're one of the few days where you're forced to be the main character, whether you want to be or not. And some people hate that feeling. Psychologists call this spotlight anxiety. It's the discomfort people feel when all attention is on them. But this isn't just about being shy. It's about control. Think about it. On your birthday, other people decide how you're celebrated. They choose the restaurant. They choose the gift. They sing that awful song while you sit there smiling like a hostage. You're no longer in charge of your own story. And for people who value independence and control, that feels unbearable. Research shows that people with a strong internal sense of control, people who believe they steer their own lives, often enjoy birthdays less. They don't want to be passengers. They want to stay in the driver's seat. But here's the twist. Some people don't avoid birthdays because they don't want attention. They avoid them because they want it too much. Let me explain. You're a kid. It's your birthday. You imagine balloons, friends, gifts, magic. Then the cake is forgotten. Friends cancel. Someone else steals the spotlight. That's called the expectation gap, when reality doesn't live up to what your brain promised you. Our brains are prediction machines. When expectations crash into reality, it hurts. And the bigger the gap, the deeper the disappointment. So the brain learns a trick. If you expect nothing, you can't be hurt. If you treat your birthday like a normal day, there's no risk. No letdown. No sadness. It's emotional self-defense. These people aren't modest. They're strategic. Now let's go a little darker. Birthdays are also reminders that time is running out. You're literally celebrating being 1 year closer to death. Here's some cake. Psychologists call this mortality awareness. Humans are one of the few species that know their time is limited, and birthdays make that impossible to ignore. Some people respond by celebrating harder. Others respond by avoiding the reminder altogether. They're not thinking about death consciously, but deep down their brain is uneasy. Treating the day like it's normal helps calm that fear. Now here's something most people never talk about. Some people who ignore their birthday actually care more than anyone else. Confusing? Stay with me. These people have a perfect image of how their birthday should feel. Perfect people. Perfect moment. Perfect happiness. And reality could never live up to that. So instead of risking disappointment, they shut the whole thing down. It's like having a perfect movie in your head, but never filming it because it could never match your imagination. From the outside, they look indifferent. Inside, they care deeply. They're just protecting themselves from their own high standards. Psychologists call this fearing joy. Holding back from happiness because you're afraid it will fall apart. Now let's zoom out. Not everyone grew up in a culture where birthdays are a big deal. In many cultures, birthdays are quiet, or barely acknowledged at all. The focus is on family, elders, or community, not on celebrating one person. If you grew up that way, ignoring your birthday isn't avoidance. It's normal. You never learned that birthdays are supposed to be a big performance. So you're not rejecting anything. You're just living how you were taught. Context matters. So pause for a second. Which of these feels like you? Control? Avoiding disappointment? Fear of aging? Impossible standards? Culture? Now here's the biggest twist. Some people who treat their birthday like a normal day might actually be the healthiest people in the room. Real self-worth doesn't come from candles, gifts, or attention. It comes from inside. People with strong self-esteem don't need one special day to feel valued. They feel secure every day. Their birthday is nice, but it doesn't define them. Meanwhile, people who need their birthday to be huge sometimes feel invisible the rest of the year. Not always, but sometimes. Food for thought. So what's the psychology of people who don't care about their birthday? It's complicated. It's about control, protection, culture, fear, high standards, or real self-worth. Or maybe they genuinely forgot their birthday is tomorrow, and it's not that deep. Either way, next time someone says, "Yeah, it's my birthday," and shrugs, don't assume they're weird. They might just be navigating life in the way that feels safest to them. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to plan my birthday. It's in 7 months. Just in case. If you found this interesting, the next video dives into another mind-bending psychology topic. Check it out. And if you want to support the channel, consider subscribing or becoming a member. It really helps me keep turning complex psychology into stories that actually make sense. Thank you.